love, hear love, speak love, everyone loves Lulu. See love, hear love, speak love, everyone loves Lulu.
What is up, beautiful? It's me, your girl, Miss Lulu. A brand new episode of Everyone Loves Lulu with, of course, I bring you a treat every week. And this week is no different. This treat, though, he is amazing. And I'm so excited to have him on the show. Founder of Uce and Co, an amazing father and husband, family man, right? And he's actually a local as well here in Los Angeles. And please welcome Joseph Laupua.
Hey, what's going on, family?
Yay!
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate that.
I'm sorry, like I swear I've postponed him a couple of times, and then he had actual real things to do and work, and then we
Just
finally
2 kids.
right. Just a really busy guy,
Yeah.
business owner, family man, lifesaver. I'm pretty sure.
Man, yeah.
It
Nah,
is so
thank you
great to
guys.
have you, and that we could finally
Appreciate
make
it.
this happen.
Absolutely.
How about we just go right into it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. You
Let's do it.
ready? Okay, because
Let's
there's
do it.
like 500 questions, and there's
Oh,
going to be a
dude.
test for sure.
Woo! Okay, hold on. Give me a
All right.
second.
Okay, well, let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Where is it that you're from?
Originally, I was actually born in Bellflower, California. I don't know how many.
Yay, reppin'.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many people actually know where that's at, but it is a
sounds
neighboring city of Long Beach, California, where I actually was pretty much raised for the majority of my life until I moved to Bellflower, California, during my high school years. So now I reside in Long Beach. I went back home, and that's where we've been living for the past maybe like 10 years.
Wow,
So
awesome.
yeah, for sure.
So how is it coming back home to Long Beach?
Man, how's it coming back? I feel like it wasn't that much of a difference. 'Cause
Right.
It wasn't too far, you know. It's like I literally moved to Bellflower. That was like maybe 5 miles away,
Yeah.
and then going back to
You
know,
took
home
a
was-
jog.
yeah, it was
Your
pretty-
5-mile run every day that you do.
walk 5 mile walk, 5 mile walk.
You're like, maybe
yeah,
we should just come back over here.
yeah,
That's awesome.
It's been nice. So we're right on the border of Lakewood and Long Beach. So it's really nice, really nice.
And we had talked earlier, actually, before we started, and especially with Uce and Co, you started to kind of remove yourself, not really remove yourself, but just kind of generalize in the sense of I'm from Los Angeles,
Right.
right? Because especially if you're from Southern California or in California in
Yup.
general, cities really matter.
Yeah.
And where you come from,
for
and then
sure.
you can. I loved how you put it, though. You're saying it's either like I didn't want to lose anybody,
Right, right,
because
right.
that's the whole point of Uce and Co is more of that unity and
Exactly. Yeah. So it's an inclusive brand. We want to make sure that we're including everybody. I mean, just the brand behind the brand, it's a family driven company. So that's how we want to treat everybody, So
Yeah.
I didn't want to exclude anybody.
just
and-
because, like, hey, just because I'm from Long Beach,
Yeah, I mean, I
doesn't
love my
mean
city.
I can't love you.
Yeah. I love my city. But again, right, I just want to include everybody. So yeah, I think that's why
I think that's a great
I'm
choice.
a proud Angelino.
But I am also very proud that I'm a Long Beach transplant. So
Oh, for sure.
I'm just gonna rep that all day.
For sure. Yeah, I heard. I think it was Miss B Royal, right? She was on there.
Yes.
I know she's from the city.
Yes,
Long Beach
from
City.
the city.
She gave the shout out there at the end. I actually know some of her family, so really good people.
Oh, dude, she's
Yeah, for
taking
sure.
off right now.
Man,
So
she's doing
really
her
excited
thing.
that we had a chance to sit down and chat it up.
She has
too.
vocals. She's doing her thing.
Her energy
Yeah.
is so infectious.
Yeah,
It's
for sure.
awesome.
For sure.
Yeah, but see, great things come out of Long Beach.
Telling you.
Like Uce and Co. Joe, why are you eyeing me over there on the side? He's just like, what? Long Beach, boo.
See?
See, this
I
is
didn't wanna
why.
lose- I didn't wanna lose him.
Already lost
I didn't
one.
want to lose it.
That's all right.
Throw
We
him a
can-
hat. Throw him a hat.
Don't be accepting any Long Beach things then, okay? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, well, I mean, I'm kind of jumping into Uce and Co just
Yeah.
because, my gosh, do you see these? They're
Yeah.
so beautiful. You can't help it, but I want to talk about it. And of course, my swag stole from my hubby. Thanks, babe.
Nice.
But I got to actually see you guys in action at the Reggae Nights,
Mhm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
With Island Ave.
Right.
So you've done some collabs with Island Ave,
So we haven't actually done any collabs. Shout out to Fa'a. I mean, I just happened to come across him because I was actually uh, printing my stuff through another guy at his shop, actually.
Oh,
Yeah, so I got connected to a guy in his shop. And when I actually went there, he was like, "Oh, do you know the owner of Island Ave?" And I'm like, "No,
it's
I
because
mean,
you're someone and
yeah,
everybody.
exactly." I'm like, "Of course I've heard of
You
Island
all
Ave."
look alike. You must be cousins, right?
Yeah.
Brothers.
I'm like, "No, I haven't." And he was like, "Oh, he'll be in here next time." So the next time I went in,
He was
yeah. We
dope.
met, and man, just from there, I was like, he's like been a mentor. So I'm like, man, good
He's
looking out,
he's another incredible just
dude.
person all around. All the
Yup,
things that he's done, his story,
yup,
and then it connected you with us,
yeah,
Island Block Network. And
yeah. I could say if it wasn't for him,
we wouldn't
definitely
be here right now.
this platform would not be available to me. So shout out Vibe Man and Island Ave for sure.
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
for sure.
Big shout outs. Love
Yup.
you and thank you for connecting
Nah,
us.
for real.
Okay, let's go into more of your history,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So you went to school at Mayfair
Mayfair.
High
Yeah.
School. Okay. I have
Yeah.
no idea where
Lakewood.
that is.
That is in. I see him going behind the camera. That's in Lakewood. That's in Lakewood High
Okay,
School. There's
okay.
two high schools in Lakewood. One is Lakewood High School, and then the other is Mayfair High School. So,
Were
um,
they known for anything?
I want to say academics, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, that's
But
good.
I mean, when I was in high school, that was a long time ago. They had a pretty good football team. And actually, when I was there, was probably one of the only times we actually got to play Long Beach Poly High School. Yeah, that was
Oh,
like the one
that's
time
the
in the
one. I was
history.
like, you're from Long Beach. You went to high
Yeah.
school, probably Long Beach Poly. Oh no, you
Yep.
didn't.
So we played against them right here at Vet Stadium, and yeah, that was huge. That was huge back in the day for us. We
Did
were
you
like,
win?
"What?" Nah, we lost. No, we lost.
That was kind of anticlimactic, Joe.
I know.
I was hoping you're
Oh
like, yes, it was an
man,
upset, and we'll never
no,
forget that year.
no, it was we took the L. We took an L for sure. They had some dudes. I was like, whoa,
Yeah, they're probably
man,
holdbacks, like 3 years.
man. They had some dudes like fully tatted up. I'm
That's the
like,
thing, though, isn't
is this
it?
guy in high school?
You're like, can I see your birth certificate?
Right. I was
He's
like,
got his
"Alright."
kids, his wife, right next to him,
Man.
going to high school.
I was like, what's going on here? I'm like,
Yeah, well, at least you got to play them, though.
yeah, for sure.
Because
For sure.
I mean, I don't know how Long Beach Poly is doing now. Are they? They're
Um,
like kind of fell off the top rung there a little bit.
yeah, no, I'm gonna say no comment.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Again,
I
we
really
don't want to
know.
lose anybody again.
Yeah,
No, it's
I
just-
really don't know. I don't know if they're doing good or. I mean, I think the whole pandemic thing just kind of threw off
Everybody.
everybody's schedule, including the sports world, at least in high school.
Well, so
You know what I
much
mean?
so
So
that we had just talked about the Olympics. I mean, when you talk
right,
about the biggest stage for sports, and that
right,
got thrown way off,
right.
right?
Yep.
With COVID, and so
Right, for
now
sure.
we're all confused because it still says Olympics Tokyo 2020,
20.
and we're like, what? Oh my
Well, yeah.
gosh! Not only did the 2020 had a pandemic and we were in quarantine,
Yeah.
apparently time didn't move forward
Yep.
either.
Exactly. I was watching it. I was like, wait, 2020. I had to ask my wife, like, Amanda, is are they just doing the Olympics from last year?
Right?
She's like, yeah, they're trying to keep up with their schedule. So
Right.
yeah, but weird to see. But I mean, yeah, that's just a testament to. I mean, that's a representation of like the entire sports world, high school.
Yes.
It's like crazy.
Yes.
So
I mean,
college.
even with even professional sports, just watching the different when like basketball kind of running
Yep.
into another sports
Yep.
schedule and football. It's just like
I couldn't keep
what?
up.
Yeah,
I couldn't keep
I'm
up.
so lost. I'm so
I'm like,
completely
all
lost.
right.
But you did mention your beautiful partner,
Yeah, for sure.
your wife, who's
Of course.
probably, let's be honest, she's
What's that?
probably really like the one that does all the work right now.
Yeah, no, she is. She is. Nah, she's. I mean, this was just an idea from this is just an idea that I had. But I think my
Uce
wife,
and Co. Uce
yeah,
and Co was
Uce
just
Co.
an idea.
It was
Okay.
just an idea, the brand to put Uce on a hat. But I think because of my wife, we were able to really put it into action, which is something that I don't think I would have done on my own, just because. I mean, I just it was something I wanted to do for myself. I
Yeah.
want to wear a Uce hat for myself. But I think running it by her, she's like, "Whoa, this could actually be something." I'm like, "It could."
Visionary.
I'm like, "It could." I'm like, "All
You
right."
picked well.
I'm
Well, let's
telling
talk
you.
about the beginnings of that, like how you two met.
Oh,
Your
okay.
beautiful wife, Amanda.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right?
Amanda.
Which I love on her Instagram or on her social media,
Yeah.
how she writes her name. It's like Amanda,
Duh.
D-U-H. I was like, I get it. It took me a
Yeah.
couple of times. I'm admitting that right now.
Yeah.
It's like so funny.
We actually met in high school. Yeah, Mayfair.
What at Mayfair? No
Uh-huh.
wonder you were, making gestures like, no, we lost terribly to
Yeah.
Long Beach Poly.
2000, was it 4?
You guys are high school sweethearts?
Yeah, high school sweetheart.
Shush.
Nope.
You're a rare breed. It's
Yeah.
like seeing a unicorn.
I know.
That's incredible.
I know.
And you guys dated, the whole time, or y'all like took a break for half a
Nah,
second?
I mean, we were young. we took a break here and there, but I mean, for the most part, we'd always come back to each other and then reconnect. But I mean, yeah, we met in high school, and then from there, once the family accepted her, it was over. He couldn't.
You're like, I
My
have
mom
no
loved,
choice
yeah, my whole
anymore.
family loved her, my grandparents, everything. So
How can you not? I love her.
Right,
So
yep.
I was trying my hardest to get her on to actually come and talk as well. And she's like, oh no, I'm behind the scenes. I'm the momager, the manager, the wife-ger, like.
yeah, she was over there like, don't call me up there to talk. I'm like, I'll get you up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh, okay. So you met, and then when did you get married?
We got married in 2014.
Good job,
2014.
dude.
Yeah.
Test passed. Good job.
2014, and then she gave birth to my beautiful daughter a year after that.
Wow.
Sadie, who was born in July of 2015, and then my son came shortly after, 2 years later, in 2017. So
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. And you're thinking, I hate to be that person because it drives me nuts when they ask me, like, are you having more kids?
Oh man,
Is that a
that's a
maybe?
no.
Oh, that
That's
wasn't
a
even
no,
a maybe.
man. No,
You're
2
like,
is good.
2 and through, baby.
What, you have 2?
I have 2 as
Oh, yeah,
well.
2.
2 and through. That's my motto too.
I love my 2 kids, and I'm good with those.
Well,
2.
you have a girl,
Those
you
are-
have a boy,
that's
and what
it.
else? An alien? You know what I mean? Like,
That's it.
I think we're good.
Yeah,
Do you have
that's it.
pets?
We have a dog.
Oh, see, that's perfect.
And he was our son before the kids came, and
And it
man,
just
he's
fit in, right?
he's just got pushed as soon as the kids came. He doesn't get walked anymore.
Oh
I'm
my
like, I'm so
gosh.
sorry, Rocky.
Like, Rocky, we still love you.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
babies now.
Yeah, exactly.
So now, what, 6 and 5?
6 and 4. Yeah.
4?
Yep.
Oh,
mhm.
about to be 5 this year? No, it's
Nah,
17.
they actually
just
just
turned
turned
4.
6, just turned 4. So July.
Oh my
And then,
goodness.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, so how is that being a dad to
Oh
some
man.
young energy balls?
Man, I love it. I love it. I don't know. When I was in high school, I always wanted kids. I mean,
Really?
I grew up.
Do you have a lot of siblings?
I have my 2 sisters, and then I have 2 brothers. Share the same dad, but
Oh,
different
okay.
moms. But we didn't actually grow up together. So I only grew up with my
your
mom's side of the family, my
And with
2
your
sisters.
sisters? Okay.
So I'm really close to them, and yeah, I can remember from a young age. I'm like, all right, I can't wait to have kids. I'm gonna teach my kid this, my kid that. Yeah.
Where were you in the lineup for your siblings?
Middle child.
Okay.
Yeah. So middle child.
But you're the only boy. I mean, in
yeah.
a sense.
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
going-
yeah.
So
Yeah.
you didn't quite get that middle syndrome stereotype,
No.
right? You're like, I want kids. I'm
Yeah.
well loved. They don't forget about me.
Yeah, for sure. I think I grew up. My dad was in the picture, but he wasn't super active, like in my life. But I think because of that, I was kind of like, man, watch when I have kids. Like, I'm gonna be in
Super
their faces
dad.
every day. Like, come on, let's go to the park.
Oh.
Yeah,
And so
so-
when you actually had kids, did that happen? Are
Uh,
you that dad? You're like, yes, let's go to the park. Oh,
You know what?
Amanda's
For the
totally-
most part,
yes.
what would you say?
She's saying yes. She's
Oh,
like,
for
oh
the
yeah,
most
he
part,
is
okay,
that
cool.
dad.
For the most part, yeah. I mean, just with the job and now with the brand, it keeps me busy. But yeah, for the most part, if I have the free time, I'm taking them out, doing stuff, playing sports. And I mentioned the Naomi Osaka thing because
Yes.
I couldn't help think about my daughter. I'm like, wait, she could be
Shady,
the
you got
first.
this.
I'm like, you could be the
I
first
believe in you.
Samoan girl who wins the Grand Slam.
And that's the thing. We have the opportunity
Yeah,
to do first for everything.
right.
Right? Like, I mean, you told your ethnicity, you're Samoan.
Yeah.
But you're American, which I
Uh-huh.
love in your bio, especially for the company. It's like, yes, I'm Samoan, but I've never been to the islands, right? And
Right.
but I'm American as well, and that doesn't, and you're bridging that
Right,
gap with
right.
Uce and Co.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
so how did the brand come along? Because I know it kind of started in high school,
Right.
or at least your thoughts going back to high
Mhm.
school and how you love hats.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I always was a guy who you could catch me in lids, and if you pass through the mall, you'd see me like staring at each hat, like, like, does this hat fit? Would this hat look good? So I always been a hat guy, but it wasn't until, I mean, during the pandemic where I was kind of like, man, I have all these hats that fit, but I
It's
wanted
not
a
fit.
hat. Yeah, I wanted a hat that just represented me, my background, where I came from, my experiences. And I mean, the thing that I think about, because how you mentioned earlier, I grew up with my two sisters, but I also grew up around a lot of my
Your cousins?
cousins who, in the Samoan culture is like,
Brothers.
exactly,
Yeah.
right. So,
They're your Uce.
right, they're your
Sis.
usos, yeah,
Your
they're your us.
Usos.
So, yeah, I just wanted to take that and throw it on a hat, and that's exactly what I did. Started off with like just a vinyl print, nothing serious. My shout out my cousin Tisa, who actually helped me. She helped me actually create the first hat. She took the logo and put it on. And then
And
from
you're
there,
like, I love it.
yeah, from there I mean, I would rock it, and people would just tell me like, "Oh, what does that say?" So it was a conversation piece, and then before you know it, I mean, I had all the people at my job like rocking Uce caps, Uce sweaters. Yeah, it's
So,
crazy.
I mean, so you started with hats, and so you always loved wearing hats in high
Uh huh.
school. I am not a hat person.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of discovered hats later on because, okay, full disclosure, I have huge ears, and so like when I was a kid, I had to grow into
Yeah,
my
yeah,
ears. So think about Will Smith. That was
right.
totally me as a kid.
What?
Like, that's somewhat cute, but then you're like, damn, that girl's like got some freaking like cute,
Oh
like
man.
sonogram. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so sonically sound. But so hats always like didn't quite.
Yeah.
It's either so I had a small head but these
Right.
big ears, and then if I was to put the hat on, like I'm trying to hide my ears,
Yeah. No, I
but
already
then
know.
it would be big. Like then the hat would look so much bigger
Right.
on my face, and
Right.
so but then if I actually have it fitted, it was like Dumbo's coming to
Yeah.
life.
No, I
I was
already
like,
know.
son of a monkey.
Yep.
But it was crazy because, and I actually didn't really realize like my parents, because my dad has big ears,
Yeah.
and of course I'm the only girl in the family, and
Uh-huh.
I'm the only one with the damn ears.
Oh
Like,
damn.
like Dad, what the?
Oh
Thank you
man.
so much
Right.
for the gift that just I can't get rid of. And so growing up, this one of my classmates, I went to a
Mhm.
private Christian school in Samoa, and this guy he was completely genuine, sincere, and he just said, "Shout out to Junior, I will never forget you." Was this, but he goes, "Lulu," and we were speaking Samoan. He's like,
Yeah.
"You're so pretty," and I'm like, "Oh, thank you." I was
Uh-huh.
like, "Oh, this is out of nowhere." He's like, "But your ears are so big."
That's,
So
that's
he had
cold.
me fucked up. Like I was just like,
That's cold.
dang.
You wanna take that shout out
Here.
back?
I was never self-conscious about my ears until you said that to me.
Your pretty butt. Your ear.
It's like, you're so pretty. And then it's like the full stop. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's it. Oh, wait, there's more.
But your ear.
He's like, but your ears are so
That's
big.
a
I'm like,
cold dude.
oh, man.
That's
It was
a
like
cold dude.
that backhand. It was like I was this high and then just cut me
Right,
down,
right.
But and the worst part about it is that there was no malice in it. It was
Right.
just like a pure observation.
Yeah.
And I'm going, son of a I can't even be mad at you,
Man, that's
But
funny.
at least he started off with, "You're so
Yeah.
pretty."
Yeah, yeah,
But there's just kind of this one little.
yeah. It's just.
So
yeah,
that's
you
why my story with hats. But now I've finally grown into my ears.
Right.
Especially after the quarantine,
Ye-
because now I feel like my head's really thick, gained some weight.
It's proportional now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like coming into my ears. And then the worst part is our appendages and our extremities actually keep growing as we get
Oh.
older. Did you know that?
I know. Yeah,
It's
I
just some
think I see it
bullshit.
with some of the old folks. I'm like, what? They like
Right.
yeah.
They
Ears
got
are huge. Yeah, the
some satellite dishes,
nose is
you know?
huge. I'm like, okay.
Oh my gosh, the nose. I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
how you do that?
Nah, I'm like
On top of the hair growth in
I'm
it.
looking at them like that's me when I get. That's for sure me when I get older.
We have so much to
Yeah.
look forward to.
Man,
Dude, I don't think I've ever told that story. So now
That's too
I
funny.
can just imagine when this airs and like all the comments are like, "Oh damn, you do have big ears."
I'm not gonna lie. I was like, can you take your headphones off?
Hence why I always want to have headphones on.
Man, we need to find Junior on Instagram for sure. we need to hit that guy. Get
It's
him on
like,
here.
he's probably laughing his ass off right now. Dude, hit me up. I swear. We got some beef to handle.
Have you seen him since that time?
No.
Oh,
I mean, I have. It's because then I left Samoa,
Right.
you know, and oh gosh, I don't know where he's at now. But I'm
Cold
hoping.
dude.
Yeah.
Cold dude.
And became actually one of my good friends, you know,
Yeah,
growing up. But
for
that
sure.
was, we would laugh about that
Yeah,
shit
for sure.
later on when I finally had the confidence to show maybe an earlobe every now and then.
That's funny.
So yeah, that's my story about hats. But so you started with hats with Uce Co.
Uh-huh.
And now did it always have, now tell me about, because I love the way you describe in the business bio what Uce means to you. Because
Right.
me coming from Samoa, I've never heard Uce until I
Wow, that's
came to the
crazy.
States.
That's
Never.
crazy.
In Samoa, or at least in my generation, we
Right.
didn't use Uce like that because we all spoke Samoan. So
Right.
it's Uso, you know,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like,
for
hey,
sure.
Uso, or, but then being female as well, even though
Yeah.
it's the same word for
Yeah.
sisters,
Uh-huh.
so, you know, female to female, it's Uso, male to
Right.
male, it's Uso. But until I came to the States, I was like, who's Oos over
Yeah.
here, you know? And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
it's a shortened version
Uh-huh.
of, or the,
Like this? Yeah.
yeah, the American
Yeah.
Uso.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as far as I can remember, it's always been a thing. Growing up in Long Beach, it was always that's what we used to, you know, in exchange with like other brothers or, you know, family. Like, what's up, Boos? But definitely, what I like about it is that it represents, you know, my Samoan side, but also it's that bridge from, you know, the islands to here in America where I grew up. You know what I mean? So, do we use the word "uso"? Oh, for sure. You know, we definitely use "uso," but here
It
I would
almost seems
say,
too long now, doesn't it?
yeah,
Like-
yeah. Even though, yeah, even though
So-
they have the same amount of letters.
Right.
I know, and I'm like,
but the E is silent, so
yeah, and
that makes a huge difference.
I can't tell people like, oh, it's the shortened version of "uso" because
Like-
they have the same amount of letters. So I'm just like, that's the slang for "uso."
Yeah,
Oos.
yeah.
But definitely, yeah, it's just that bridge, you know, and that's what I think the one connection that we have is, you know, whether you're out there or out here, family is important, you know, and brothers are important, cousins are important.
Say that line though that you have in your bio, that for Islanders or Polynesians or Pacific Islanders, family isn't
everything.
right. Well, no, like you worded it somehow. It's like family isn't. Yeah, it's everything, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
family
yeah.
is everything.
Yeah, it says family isn't
Isn't
everything.
any-
It's the only thing.
Oh, it's the
Yeah,
only
yeah,
thing. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, well, that's right, right?
Snaps.
Yeah,
Amanda's
yeah.
like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, yeah, right.
But I love that. It's not
Yeah.
everything. It's the only thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And that's the mentality we want to carry out with the brand. You know, just keeping everybody inclusive. When we run into people, that's the way I treat them, at least. You know, like their family. You know, I treat everyone like their family, give them that respect, everything like that. So that's what we're trying to push with the brand. I've been lucky enough to have, you know, cousins who've been pushing the brand too, who have some good connections out there just in the bodyguarding game.
Yeah.
Shout out my cousin Philo, Brothers Protection.
Hey,
yeah,
I love
for sure.
that guy.
Yeah, that's
He's actually one of the people that I met when I first came to the States.
what.
Yes. I mean,
That's
he's
my-
a character that you never
Yeah,
forget.
that's my first cousin. So
What?
yeah, that's my first cousin.
Your personalities are
Mm-hmm.
very different.
Really?
No,
Let's turn
Not
off
in
the
a
camera
bad way,
really
right?
quick.
So look, this is
No.
what.
Like, he's one of the first people you met when you came from Samoa.
Oh yeah, right. No,
yeah,
not
for sure.
in that sense.
No,
but-
because I'm like, he's all young. Like, where was he at? No,
Yeah,
just kidding.
no, oh my gosh, Philo. Shout out to Philo.
Yeah,
Love
for
that
sure.
guy. I can
Shout out
actually
Brothers
see the
Protection.
family resemblance.
Yeah, so that's my first cousin and my cousin Mike, his brother. Yeah, wherever they go, they always take the brand with them, and we've been lucky enough to get people like Ben Simmons to rock the cap.
So awesome.
Yeah, people
I
like
think that's who I mean, Philo is probably the first person that I actually noticed.
right.
Uce and Co.
Yeah.
on.
Yep.
As well.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, it just kind of stuck, you know, the branding.
Yeah. I mean, this brand wouldn't be what it is without those guys. I mean, because we all grew up together, so.
And they have their input in it.
yeah,
It's like,
for
hey,
sure.
This would look dope. This would
Yeah,
look
for
dope.
sure. I always run everything by them. We have a group text, and I'm just like, hey, what's up? What do you guys think about this design. What do you guys think about this shirt? So they're always giving their feedback, and I try to take that into consideration when I'm trying to design some, or with the next pieces that we'll be dropping. So yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
So, I mean, it's very unique the way that you actually have the logo
Yeah, yeah,
itself. And that's
yeah,
why people, it's like, whoa, what design is that?
yeah.
And they can't quite make it out
hmm
until you actually say it. So, how did you come up with that specific design?
Well, I
And
think
when did you settle on it?
I think every city has their logo. Like for example, Long Beach, has the L and the B monogram. It's
Mm-hmm.
connected. So I kind of wanted to. I took actually that idea and wanted to take Uce and make a monogram like that. Where it's all connected, where it's
Yeah.
even.
I
So
love it.
yeah, so I worked with a guy who does designs, and yeah, just went back and forth until it looked good to me, and I was like, let's go with that.
Yeah. And it also
So
does remind me of LA too, because we like to overlap a lot of
yeah,
things
that
too.
too. Yep.
So like when you just have the letters LA,
Yep.
they're usually touching each other, overlapping
Yeah,
in
for sure.
some way, somehow.
Yeah, for sure. I
I
think with the three letters, they're like, wait, what does that say?
Yeah,
At least people at my job, and then it becomes a conversation piece.
yeah.
So now I'm explaining that, but then behind that, I get to explain like my culture, where we're from, how everything came about, those kind of things. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
So then the hats came, and then when did you start implementing and adding more clothing?
Oh man, probably like stuck with hats for like maybe a good 6 months, and then I think after that we were kind of like,
You're like, now we gotta have something to go with our hats.
yeah. And shout out to Fa'a because that was something that Fa'a told me.
That
Now
guy.
that you got the hats, you're gonna have people who
Want
want something to go with the hat.
Yes.
So that's when we designed, or we went ahead and just threw now the Uce design on a shirt, and that became our classic tee, which we have online. But soon we'll be dropping some new pieces. We're working with a designer who actually has worked with Tatao.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Okay, who
So
in Tatao?
um,
Tolo and Tanya, or
well,
the
he's the designer. He
Oh, got
designed
it.
some of their pieces.
For
Yeah. So
okay.
he actually reached out to me. So
I love Tatao
yeah,
stuff. I'm actually
I
a big
know. When
fan,
he hit me
and
up, I
their
was like,
family
what?
as well. So,
Yeah, for sure. Yep. So that was pretty much it.
oh, that's gonna be dope.
I know. He sent some pics, and I'm just excited. I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm like, okay.
I know, because their caps are really well known
Oh
too in
man.
the game with just the designs
Yeah, they're
and okay. So what is it when you say the fit of the hat, the
uh
feel of the hat? Like,
mhm.
I don't understand that. So take me into that world of what that means.
Well, I know a lot of the guys can relate when you
I
wear a
know my
hat.
husband doesn't leave the house without his hat.
When you wear a hat, like you mentioned earlier, like sometimes your ears are sticking out, like, or sometimes you want to cover your ears.
Or
Um,
sometimes your hair is totally terrible.
yeah, so I mean, it's just each hat wears differently. Like you can even buy the same brand, and when you rock it, it'll wear different from the other hat, right? Which I'm sure a lot of
Wow.
guys can relate to. Uh,
R&D, is that true?
yeah.
Yeah.
So you might have the same brand hat, but it fits differently, wears differently.
So for you,
Um,
was there a classic style that you liked or that is your
yeah.
go-to?
So there was a brand, and I'm not gonna say the name, but there was a brand that I purchased the hat from, and when I put it on, I was like, dang, like I like the fit, I like the way it wears, it's different. And
Oh,
so what I did was I went under the cap and I checked the material, what it was made of. Yeah, and then I Googled that material, and when the hats popped up, I saw the exact hat that
that
uh that
you were
that company was using. Mind you, I paid like 45 to $50 for that hat, and online that
Ooh.
hat, just the blank, just I probably should be saying
Was
the
like what,
blank
five
was
bucks?
it was cheaper than $5.
Oh my god!
So let's just say
So
that
the hat
company,
game is real.
yeah, that company was making a killing. So I was like, okay, cool. So
And
yeah.
okay, and so what are the different? Do you have all the different style hats? Like
So
what are some of the ones that we have right here?
yeah, yeah. So
Let me
this is
show you. Love
actually
this.
our hemp hat.
I
Yeah,
love this
it's yeah.
material.
So we actually have those done and made in China.
Wow.
Yeah, so you can feel the quality, right? It's a lot thicker.
Yeah, I could
Um,
really cover some ears in these things.
man, yeah. So that's the hemp
Beautiful.
hat,
I
and this is
love
the
just the
same material.
detail too.
Yeah, for sure. And this is the same material,
Oh,
just
in
a different
black.
color in black. Yeah.
Oh, that is.
You know?
I love also the color that you use in this with the brown and
Yeah,
and the
I don't know. I
orange.
just paired it together and it looked good to me. I was like,
And then of
let's
course
do
you
it.
checked
Yeah.
with your crew to make
Yeah.
sure that it was
Would
dope.
you guys rock this?
Right,
They said
right.
yeah. I was like,
Okay.
say no more.
Phew. Good
Yeah.
job. Yeah, and this is awesome too because I never really see black with the tan and the brown.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Dope, dope, dope.
unique as well. So does it come to you in a dream or something? Or are you just like sketching?
No.
Or is Amanda the one coming up and is like, maybe we should add some triangles, circles on these things?
No, it just. I mean, I honestly like. I love the tribal stuff. But I feel like Total really dominates that market. So for me, it's kind of less is more. You know what I mean? So the
That's
word says
exactly
enough.
why I'm in love with your brand.
Right.
Because a lot of the time I feel like brands, I can't really rock a lot of brands because I'm like a walking billboard.
Right.
You know what I
right.
mean? And
Nah,
so
for
then I'm
sure.
like, well, where am I in all of that? You
Right.
know?
Exactly.
But yours
Exactly.
is so clean.
Yeah, appreciate
It's oh gosh. And then just the little subtleties, like me,
Yeah.
even on the sweatshirt, on the hoodie
Yeah.
that you have on now. It's like I just the raised
Yeah.
logo with a little bit of like the texture of it
Yeah, for
alone
sure. Mhm.
looks cool. And
Yeah.
then of course the raised bamboo. Is that like bamboo kind of style
This?
with the lettering? No, I
You
mean
know
like
what? Yeah,
it kinda looks
kinda,
like-
yeah, it kind of resembles bamboo. Yeah, it does.
And
Now
as I
that
was-
I'm looking at it, I'm like,
I'm like,
yeah,
it's like bamboo.
Yeah.
That's even more island for
Yeah,
me, you know,
sure.
but subtle.
I'm gonna add
So
that.
it's not
add
in your
that to the-
face?
let's add that to the story.
Ah, don't worry, I'll just ask for my 10%.
Yeah, for sure.
No, it's everything is so dope. Okay, no, but this material is a
Yeah.
little different. I wish you guys could. It's like a scratch and sniff and touch and feel.
So
over
that's
here.
this is actually the style hat that I
Initi-
purchased that hat from the company. It was that style. So this is our classic cap. This is the main cap that we have, our original caps that we actually have.
that you started
Yeah,
with. It's
and,
gorgeous. I feel so nice.
Yeah, I
Feels
feel
like
like
it just molds with you.
a lot of the younger generation, I feel like, is kind of like,
Coming to this.
yeah, they like that style better. Is what I'm seeing from just the orders online. And when they purchase stuff, I'm like, all right. They like
That
the
you know
curved
it
bill.
is. It is. Yeah, the curved
Whereas
bill.
the older generation, I feel like, likes this flat bill style.
Yeah.
But,
I
yeah.
don't know. It almost feels even depending on the point in your life that you're in, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Like you said, when you're youthful, it's more of like a throw around, like
Right.
it's curved. You're not quite worried about.
Yeah, for sure.
It's your everyday. It's part of your being.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
then later on, you're like, I'm established, and now I'm straight laced. Got
Man.
everything figured out.
I'm telling you, I used to always rock this cap, but like this style, but for some reason I put this on and now I'm just like,
You're like, this
yeah,
is
I'm
my
at the
cap.
point in my life, I'm like, it's this time, it's the time for this cap.
Right, and like
Yeah.
this is more malleable. This is more solid,
Mhm.
right? So now
Yeah,
you're
for
like,
sure.
I'm solid. as a rock.
For sure. Yeah.
I've
for
been
sure.
through some shit, and I've come through it.
Persevered.
You know?
Persevered. Came out strong.
Oh
Came
my
out strong.
gosh. Okay, so
Yeah.
what are all the pieces that you have now as well? So you have. Do you have
Oh,
full?
man.
Do you have pants as well?
We don't have pants yet, but we'll probably
Yet.
we'll probably drop like a sweatsuit
Dope.
before we just drop like pants by themselves.
Right.
But sweatsuit for sure. And then we have some we have like 4 new designs that we'll be dropping the next maybe like a month and a half or 2 months.
You guys. So
Yeah.
when did the company actually start?
It started just over a year ago. Yeah. During the
Wow.
pandemic.
During the pandemic
And
is
that's
when you
why-
had some time to really think.
Yeah, that's why I mean, I know the pandemic is a curse for the whole world, but in a way I took it low key as a blessing, just like the change of pace, Time slowed down, gave
Put so
people to
well.
spend time with family, time to think, and I think that's when I had the time to think like, like what can I do in this time when there's nothing else to do,
Yeah.
And so,
And
yeah.
did you kind of discover another part of you that you didn't realize was there as a creative mind?
I think the creative side came out of me once I actually
Started.
once my cousin actually put the vinyl on the hat,
You're like,
I was just like, man, think I could really do this,
seeing is believing sometimes. You know what I mean? And
Man.
actually touching it and feeling it. and-
Yeah.
because our ideas can just stay with us a lot, right? We're
Man.
just like, oh,
Yep.
dreamers.
No, for sure.
Constantly, it's like, oh, that would be dope. That would be dope. But never, like you said,
For
never
sure.
quite create it
sure.
until Amanda comes along.
Exactly. Get you an Amanda.
Hey, that should be on a tee right
Get
there,
you-
okay?
get you an Amanda. For sure.
Make your dreams
Yeah.
come true.
Yeah, and I think my mom has played an important role just growing up. She's always been in a single parent household. She was a hustler, man. Hustler, just working every day, 24/7. You know, she was
And
you.
still found some time for
Yeah,
you.
I mean,
That's
you
awesome.
would see her at night, and then she'd be out the house in the morning because she'd always be working. But that mentality is something that I always kept with me, and my sisters will tell you the same thing. Like, and that's what I'm trying to put into this company now. And my mom is still there. She's like, "You can do it, son."
She's so
I'm like,
supportive
"Yeah, she's good."
too. I
Yeah.
mean, because we do hear some horror stories in every culture and in
Mhm.
every ethnicity and
Yeah.
dynamic, right? But it's nice to hear that, as a Polynesian, as a
Yeah, for
Samoan
sure.
woman who is already has the hard task of being a
Mhm.
single parent and
Yep.
still has enough positivity to be
Right.
like, you got this.
Yeah, she's always been that way. It's crazy. Shout out my mom.
Shout out,
Lay.
Mom.
Shout out Lay.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much for Uce and Co.
Yeah. So she'll rock.
For raising a good man.
She'll rock the Uce stuff to the step classes that are popular right now.
Yes.
And so she'll tell
Man,
me
I've probably stepped with your mom.
yeah, you'll see her in the Uce gear, but she said that another lady was there, and I guess my mom knows that lady's son. But the lady told her son, yeah, there's this lady over there that she always has the
The
Uce gear
Uce-
on because the guy actually bought from us too,
Oh my
supported.
gosh.
So she didn't know that was actually my mom.
That's
I was like-
hilarious.
yeah, so yeah, it's crazy.
Well,
Not just-
especially in our community, it's definitely less than 6 degrees of separation.
Right.
We're like 1 degree of
yeah,
separation.
yeah.
We do our lineage and then we're like, oh, we are cousins.
Right, right, like yeah, it's my cousin.
Now, do you ever feel a disconnect because, you've never been to the islands?
You know what? I do, and I've always felt that way. I felt like I lacked a lot in you know um my knowledge of the culture because I've never been there. But a lot of those things I mentioned this in the story is something that my grandpa actually bought with him from Samoa and has like ingrained in all of his grandkids. So I mean, yeah, I still actually want to go to Samoa to really, I guess, know the culture more. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But definitely, I thank my grandparents for
Still kind of.
yeah, keeping that within us so that we didn't lose everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. Shout out my shout out my grandparents.
Yeah, because it's really hard. Me coming from Samoa
Mhm.
and then having children here.
Right.
And I've made it a point, I've been very blessed to be able to take my kids home every year.
Right.
And that's because my parents are
That's
there
awesome.
and I'm the only girl and it's kind of a must.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
But
awesome.
but I love home. Like Samoa to me is
Yeah.
still home
Right.
for me but one of the biggest things that I wanted to at least make sure that my kids had was the language
Right.
because I'm
Oh,
fluent in Samoan.
we talk about this all the time.
Ugh, and I am failing. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Man.
it's so hard. I couldn't I told myself I'm like I'm not going to let my
Yeah.
goal was to at least have them understand fluently.
Mm-hmm.
And right now I'm about to cry. It's like not
Nah.
and going home every year, and when I do go home I would stay for no less than a month, right?
Right.
So like a month, two. It's like sometimes in 2019, I don't know, maybe it was a premonition that the world was going to shut down in 2020,
Yeah.
but we actually stayed there for 5 months.
What?
Yeah, like because I was like, okay, we're gonna, my husband.
Yeah.
Shout out to my husband, Talamata Great, but he was touring a
What?
lot in 2019, and so
Wow.
I was like, I gotta have a support system,
Yeah.
and I don't have any, sisters and
Yeah.
no family here really.
Wow.
So I went back home, and I'm like, okay, and we stayed there,
Yeah.
and every year, like my babies have been there since like straight out of the womb,
Mhm.
and we'd go home, and that's what actually solidified the language, right? That
Right.
helped with me teaching. So
Right.
I would be the one speaking Samoan all the time to my kids,
Wow.
only. And then Mata would be the one speaking English so that they
Right.
came up in both languages.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, in theory,
Yeah.
it was great. And it actually worked because I feel like what really made it the glue was to go back home to Samoa
Right.
and keep that up, right?
Right.
And then they're completely infused
Mhm.
in only hearing Samoan.
Mhm.
Because I'm one person here in the States,
Right.
and then my husband speaks English as well, and all their cousins out here and all
Yeah.
their friends, especially when they start to go to school,
Yeah,
and
for
then it's
sure.
just not cool to be speaking gibberish, you
Right.
know?
Yep. Yep.
But then just the 1 year not going to Samoa,
Right.
I can't believe how much they've digressed
Right.
from the language.
Right.
It breaks my heart, and I feel like I'm going back to square one,
Right.
you know? And
Yep.
my son is turning 5 this year. My
Wow.
daughter just turned 3. They're a year and a half
Crazy.
apart, and I'm already feeling the clock ticking, and like
Yeah.
they're not gonna know the language. It's
Man.
gone, you know.
That's real talk right there. We talk about that all the time. I think because I don't actually speak it fluently.
Do you understand?
I understand, but definitely if I were to speak it, my grandparents would be like, "Don't speak it. You're
And
not
I think
speaking
that's
it
part of the
correctly.
problem, right?
You're not speaking it correctly."
Right.
Yeah.
And that is very much, I feel like, the reason why we, or a lot of the youth, or a lot
Yeah,
of our generation who
sure.
grew up out here don't speak is because they're shamed. They're constantly shamed
Right.
by the elders, going like, "If you're not gonna do
That's
it right,
true.
just shut up." You're like,
Yep.
you're bringing down the whole family.
Yeah, and then it's kind of like, all right, forget it. You know.
Right,
Like, I'm
and
not
then you're
gonna-
going, how am I ever supposed to learn then
Yeah,
if
that's true.
I can't actually practice
It's
this?
true. Yeah, for sure.
And now here we are. You know, so let's
So,
let's change that. I
yeah.
hope.
Nah, for real. That's a thank goodness for YouTube, because I mean that's how we've been trying to get
Try
our
to bring
kids to
up.
learn the language. You know, there's some good YouTube channels out there.
What about you,
Um,
Amanda? Do you speak Samoan now? Are you understanding a little bit since you go to the Samoan church all the time? Yeah.
Man.
That's awesome that you understand a lot of it. You understand a
Uh-huh.
lot of it? Yeah, like the
She
really
can, yeah,
general
she can piece it together
conversationally.
for sure.
That's so
Yeah,
cool.
it's crazy.
Oh my god. Does your
My
mom
mom
speaks?
yeah, my mom speaks it, and then
And your sisters?
no, my older sister, she's half black, half Samoan, but
Okay.
she, out of all of us, probably speak
The
the best Samoan. Yeah.
because
didn't-
now why do
Yeah.
you think that is?
Man, I don't know.
She's probably like, okay,
Yeah.
it's half of me. I gotta like make it super
Yeah.
stronger than.
I mean, she was the first grandkid, so she was probably exposed to,
Oh,
you know,
with
my
your
grandparents were still,
grandparents.
they were probably all still speaking, you know, the language, the Samoan language. And then over time, you know, as more kids came, you know, the parents started to speak English, being out here in America. And then slowly but surely, like, you know, we just started to lose that part of
Yeah.
the culture, you know. So,
But at the same time, you're still integrating it by
exactly.
having Uce on
Exactly.
everything, like
Exactly.
that bridge. You
Mhm.
know, that bridge from the islands to the mainland.
Yeah, for sure.
And
For
when
sure.
I can't wait for you to actually go
Yeah,
to
appreciate that.
Samoa and
Want to.
not only Samoa but the other
Yeah.
Pacific islands and check it out because
That's the goal.
we are definitely all related. By the way,
For
have you
sure.
ever done one of those ancestry things?
I haven't.
Oh my gosh.
I've always
you
wanted
totally
to.
should.
I haven't. Have you?
Yes, I
What?
just did. It was my Christmas present to myself
Okay.
that I find in island form. It was very much island time. I just barely did it like a month ago.
Okay. Oh, dang.
But I don't know what it was. I think the idea of knowing everything
Yep.
genetically,
Me too.
right, was like a little worrisome
Yeah.
for me. I was like, because when I introduce myself, that's the only side of me that I know is that I'm
Right.
Samoan.
Yeah.
And then I was like, am I ready to find out that maybe I'm not all Samoan and I
Right.
have all these other things as much as I love people and inclusivity, but
Uh-huh.
I know how rare it is to be Polynesian
Yeah.
and to be Samoan specifically.
Mhm.
And so I did the 23andMe and I'm revealing it here. I can't believe it.
Let's go. I can't believe I'm on here for
right?
this.
You should.
No.
I mean, I recommend it
Yeah,
mainly
yeah.
because I did 23andMe. So shout out to 23andMe, and it comes back, and
Uh-huh.
I'm 60% Polynesian,
Okay.
mainly Samoan, and then I have some Tongan.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was like,
shoot. All right.
okay, I'll see
Yeah.
it. And then I have 28% European.
What?
Bruh. I was like,
So, okay.
yeah. So my dad never knew his dad.
Right.
And definitely that's the mystery there,
Right,
where
right,
that's
right.
coming from,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, whoa, and it was really cool because I've got like German, French,
Right.
and I have like a lot of UK,
Yeah.
so London and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all of around the
Wow,
UK,
that's
right?
crazy.
Isn't that nuts? But the one that blew my mind
Uh-huh.
was I'm 13.3% Fijian.
What?
I was not once in my whole entire life did any of
Alright.
my mom or my dad
Yeah.
ever say like, "Oh, we have, some Fijian relatives." Like,
Right.
blew my mind. I
That's
was like,
crazy.
it's not, that's a really significant percentage,
Yeah.
right? Like 13,
kinda-
more than 10%. You're like, holy shoot. So when Fiji won the gold, right, for rugby, I'm all like, that's my picks right there. I'm right there with you,
That's
country.
me. Nah, that's dope. Man,
13.3% of me right there.
That's crazy.
Right.
I gotta
Isn't
try
that
that
true?
out.
Oh, one
Yeah.
of the other things though that's really funny about, because they break it down.
Uh-huh.
Like all like your traits, and I was trying to look for why my ears are so big. But I mean, they were pretty much like, oh, you have 80% chance of
Yeah.
having more brown eyes than this, or like you could have more dandruff than this.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
What?
no, like
Oh,
that.
wow. This is
Your middle,
detailed.
your like second toe is longer than your big toe. Or, like, you're like,
Okay.
what the? I'm all over here like examining
Okay.
stuff. I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, you're right. And then the other thing was, I have Neanderthal genetic genes.
What? All right.
I was how you find freaking 0.01% Neanderthal?
I'm curious about that.
Oh, 2%.
What do they ask for information like when you go to apply to get one of those or?
No, you literally spit into this tube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you spit, it's really painless.
Okay.
You spit into the tube and then you seal it up and you mail it off.
Wow.
And then they just
Shout out to science. Like,
seriously.
What in the world?
But I was like, I want to maybe try,
Yeah.
because that's 23andMe. I maybe want to try Ancestry or something and
Yeah.
kind of compare.
I'm gonna have to try that out.
But I was like, Neanderthal, what does that say? And so they were saying, though, like one of the things
Oh
for
my
a
God.
Neanderthal is like, and what was crazy is like, oh, it's really rare. You, out of how many thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that come to 23andMe, have the biggest percentage of Neanderthal. I'm like,
ooh, you're special.
right? I'm dang, that explains the hair on my back. No.
Rare breed. She's a
Right,
rare
okay.
breed, y'all.
Woo! No,
The rare breed.
but one of the things for being Neanderthal is that you it's associated with explosive elite athletes.
Really?
And I was like, I am Neanderthal. I will proudly claim
that,
my
yeah.
Neanderthal side.
That's dope. Dang. I definitely got to check
Isn't
that
that
out.
crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway,
Yeah.
like that. If you really want to know
No,
what
I
we're
do.
making,
I do. I've always that always piqued my interest. I mean, I would see the commercials, Ancestry.com, but yeah, I would definitely want to check that out.
But
for
if
sure.
anybody was to ask me, I'm like, I'm Samoan.
For real.
Oh my, right?
Nah.
Like we always say that, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I am very proud though of my Fijian side now.
Nah, you got-
And I always knew there was some Tongan in there.
Yeah.
I don't care what
For
Tongans
real.
and Samoans be beefing about. We are literally the same people.
No.
I swear we are.
Try to tell them.
I would be interested to see all of our 23andMe or all of our ancestry, whatever.
Man.
And I bet you anything, all of us has like
Imagine-
of each.
Imagine
Samoan and Tongan.
You've been living your life Samoan, and then you get the results. It's like
More Tongan?
90% Tongan. like
Like,
wait, what?
Mama, you got some explaining to do.
Yeah, for real.
I know. It was trippy because I told my dad about it. I was like, Dad, 13.3% Fijian? What
Yeah.
is that?
What did he say?
And he was just like, I think we might have some family. I was like, bro, whatever. I
Right.
definitely know the European side is from you. But my mom is full Samoan. So, like, her mom and her dad are full Samoan, like,
Right.
from Upolu and Savaii, right?
Right.
And my dad is the one that we don't know who his dad is. We're like, you're the question mark over here. Like, his mom is full Samoan, right? So I'm going, well, now I know where your other part
Yeah.
is from. So I'd be interested to see what his
That's
is.
crazy.
I know. It's a trip.
I'm gonna check it out.
Sorry, we went off on a completely different tangent.
No, that was good.
That's like what we love about
No.
this show. But what's the next step for Uce and Co?
Next step is, I mean, dropping the new pieces. Yeah, throwing them up online.
Okay.
We have our online store, which has been doing great, by the way. Shout out
And
to
what
everybody
is
who's-
your online store?
uceandco.com.
Okay.
Yeah, UceandCo.com.
Nice and simple,
Yeah,
like your brand.
you can find everything on there. But I mean, that's pretty much it. We're just focused on the, pushing everything online. I mean, I think that's where everything's headed.
So now you mentioned your job.
Uh huh.
Do you mind saying what it is that you do as
No,
well,
no, I don't
besides
mind.
the brand?
Yes, I work full time in a pharmacy for Kaiser Permanente.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, shout out to the Kaiser fam.
Yeah.
In Downey, I don't know if you guys know where that's at, but yeah. So I
Some
work
other
there.
unknown places you're making up?
Yeah, I work
just
there. Like Downey, if you guys don't know where that's at.
I'm
But
like
yeah.
the softener, the pepper. No, just
Yeah.
kidding.
See? Yeah, some people don't. Yeah, they're like Downey. Where's Downey? Yeah.
I'm from Long Beach,
Yeah.
so I definitely know where Downey is
Yeah.
and Bellflower. We
Yup.
have to pass by those places. So yay! I'm so glad
Yeah.
that we're on the same page and I don't feel so lost.
So I work there, and then I'm a casual down at the port of Long Beach.
Oh,
So
awesome!
yeah, I sometimes go down there, but for the most part, it's just my full time job, and then yeah, the brand. That's
So
pretty much it.
are you looking at maybe completely replacing your job with just Uce and Co.
I
one
am.
day?
Yeah. I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the goal. That wasn't the goal at first, but I think
Now really
over this
seeing-
past year, yeah, it becoming a reality where, the money's actually coming in. It's like, oh shoot, like this could actually replace, full time job. So
and on top of the fact that it is your own,
right,
right? And you get to really be in more control of
right,
what is really important to you, which is being a dad and a husband.
exactly, yeah,
Oh, that is the dream.
yeah, it
That's
is.
what I'm trying to do with Everyone Loves Lulu, but Joe's messing stuff up.
Yeah, I think, man, I think that's a mindset that Fa'a put me on too. Is the poly ownership mindset. You know what I mean? So I
We're
wasn't really.
totally capable and more than capable. I mean, education
Man.
wise and just drive wise,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
So just seeing that work ethic in us,
For
especially in
sure.
our generation. I'm really hoping for the
Yeah.
for the young generation
Yeah.
to have that same
Yeah.
work ethic and drive, but
Yeah,
only
for
the
sure.
future will tell.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. So uceandco.com.
UceandCo.com.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
For all of your Uce and Co needs,
Yep.
I'm definitely gonna be I call shots. I'm looking at the crew over here. Don't be trying to eye me. These are mine. No.
No, we got some more for the team. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, and then check out all the new stuff that's coming out.
Mhm. Yeah.
On your social media handles.
Yeah.
Is that the same too, Uce and Co?
We only have our IG page is Uce_and_Co.
Okay.
And then our TikTok, which we're not really focused on, but it's just Uce and Co.
Okay,
Yeah.
Uce and Co.
UCE and Co.
I really see
Yeah.
Joe always is constantly, shout out to not your average Joe Savage. never that. But he's like, Lou, you gotta have a bigger social media,
Right.
presence. And I'm like, I do my potty breaks.
Right.
Isn't that enough? He's like, no, do something. But TikTok,
Yeah.
like that's what
Yeah.
would you be doing on TikTok?
Dude,
Like,
you know
is
what?
that like a completely another platform?
I'm
I
still
tried
trying
during
to,
the pandemic,
right.
doing crazy shit on TikTok.
Right. I think we're on the same page. I'm trying to discover, how to really work things on TikTok. My 6-year-old daughter, I feel like knows more about TikTok than
But
me.
they are so
I'm
smart.
like, what in the world? She's
They're
just
coming with all these
like,
dance moves and doing all
yeah,
these
it's
things.
crazy. So yeah, I'm still trying to work things out, how to figure out TikTok. But for now, our main social media platform is Instagram. So
Now
yeah.
your online store you said is doing great, and I just want to finish it off with do you ever have pop-ups anywhere that we can, and would you actually tell us on your website or on social
Yeah.
media?
So for sure, if we do any pop-ups or festivals, which we
Festivals
actually
which are
did one.
coming?
Yeah, which we
Okay.
did one. We did the Love Aloha Festival. Shout out to Tanel and her people.
Oh, rock on.
Yeah, we were able to get in there. But I mean, that kind of opened the door to doing other festivals. And we were approached to do. There's one coming up. I forgot the name of it. It's Filipino. I forgot the name of it. But
I'm sure Joe knows. He's part
Yeah.
Filipino.
is he?
No.
Oh, man. Oh shoot! I did not know that. What? Are
Why are you
serious?
shaking your head?
It's called the Fan Festival. Fan Festival.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, with any pop-ups or festivals, we'll make sure to announce on Instagram or post it up on our page.
Oh, for sure, because we
Yeah.
will stalk you.
Nah, for sure.
They're like this. Your product is awesome. I'm
Thank you,
excited
guys.
for the collab with Tatao. That's
Oh,
gonna be
okay. Wait, that wasn't a collab. That wasn't a collab.
Oh man, no.
They're gonna be like, wait, what's this guy? So it's a designer, who
from
designed for them.
I gotta get that
Yeah.
right. I'm trying to speak it into existence.
Yeah, that'd be
I'm like
nice though.
my Tatal family. Can we collab?
I've definitely had that in my head. So
I'm pretty sure they would.
That would be dope.
They are
I don't know if
incredible
they do
people. They're
collab with people.
family
Yeah.
oriented as well, and I mean they've come from the ground up. And
Yeah, for sure.
Now they're here and still
I
thriving.
love them.
Well,
Yup.
you heard it here. Any shout outs you want to give? Any special
No, man.
celebrations?
No. Just
Any
shout out-
admissions you want
I'm like,
confessions
can everyone leave the
of
room?
Uce and Co?
No, man. I mean, just shout out to my family. I think mainly my mom, who again really been in the corner, and of course my wife. Like we said earlier, get you an Amanda.
Get you an, dude, that's gonna be
Get
our
you an
tag,
Amanda.
our
Yeah.
hashtag now.
No.
Get you an Amanda.
No, but thank you guys for having me, for sure.
It was an absolute
I really appreciate it.
a pleasure, Joe, to have you on here, and thank you so much for just telling your story and
No,
sharing
thank
it
you.
here on Everyone Loves Lulu. Make sure you check us out on islandblocknetwork.com every week for a brand new episode of Everyone Loves Lulu. Big shout out again
Yeah, thank
to
you
our
guys.
brother Joe.
Hey.
I swear I can never get away from Joes in my life. All the good men in my life are Joes.
Hey.
How about get you a Joe?
Get your Joe, yeah, for sure.
He knows for sure. So make sure at Ms. Lulu MYZLULU at Uce Co for everything underscore right?
Right. Yep. Underscore.
And uceandco.com for just get you one. Well, I mean, it feels so good on my head. It's a great ear holder. Fabulous. You gotta get you one of
Man.
these. See, hear, and speak love. Mwah.
See love, hear love, speak love. Everyone loves Lulu.